આજે ગ્લોબલ માર્કેટ્સના ફ્રન્ટ ઉપરથી જે આપણને એક મેજર ઇવેન્ટ આવતી દેખાય છે ફેડની, એના પર વાત કરવા માટે આપણી સાથે જોડાઈ રહ્યા છે ગ્લોબલ વોઇસીસમાંથી એક્સએમ ઓસ્ટ્રેલિયાના સીઈઓ પીટર મેકવાયર. Peter Maguire, welcome to CNBC Bazaar and good morning. First of all, we would like to know which kind of expectation you've seen from the Fed meeting, and afterwards the statement of Jerome Powell, almost similar line on interest rate or bond buying program.
Well, I think a couple of things, and good morning. A couple of things that really took me by surprise was the velocity as far as 3 rate rises of a quarter point each over 2022, a further 3 in 2023, and then another 2 by the end of 24. So in 3 years' time, we're going to have 8 rate rises, and they'll be capped out at 2.1%. Well, that's what they're saying at the moment. The issue is we've got inflation, which is at all-time highs, and I can't put my mind back to anywhere like this that demonstrates how you're going to rein inflation back. We're also got as we know, the tapering, doubling the withdrawal at $30 billion a month.
All right. But Peter, one more thing is that inflation is not on temporary side, and the economic growing is much more faster than Fed expected. So it will be positive for the old economic stock?
Well, I think it'll be positive. We're going through a different environment. The last 2 years is unheralded. I've never lived through a pandemic, and what we've seen as far as turnaround, taper, then we've seen interest rates at 0 or negative, and all of these fundamentals. Now we're going to a rate tightening cycle, and what's going to happen as far as equities, gold prices, where do the commodities play, and what happens to King Dollar. So we've got to work through this. I think it's going to be interesting how it plays out, and where we run as far as equity markets in 2022. Do we continue to see that uplift, or is there going to be some form of consolidation?
Okay. So lastly, Peter, what kind of your expectation regarding the rate hike from the Fed in next year, and what kind of expectation we can see from the Bank of England and ECB, European Central Banks? Are they also going on cutting the stimulus and rising the interest rate?
I think first off, the Eurozone, I don't think they will I don't think they will raise interest rates. I wouldn't be surprised if they cut their taper. And I wouldn't be surprised if the UK does similar. I think it's an evaluation. They wanted to see what the Fed was going to do, then plan their strategies into 22. The COVID story is, by the sounds of it, in a worse position across Eurozone and England than what it is in America. That's what I'm hearing anyway. So that's got to be worked through over the next couple of months. The second side is, as far as rates tightening, I'm not really sure whether we're going to see such a dramatic move across the Bank of England and the Eurozone, the ECB, to match the Fed. I just don't think it's going to be at the same form of velocity that the Fed's demonstrating.